Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and tell a friend. On the docket today, we have Sister Wives, season 19, episode 26, the one on one part one. Okay, first of all, I must apologize for being tardy. I got caught up on a late call at work. Um, but I see that y'all are busy discussing everything in the chat. My
It
goodness. Bless you. Jamal, how was your weekend?
was good. How was yours?
It wasn't long enough.
Are they ever though?
No, no, they aren't. How's everybody in the chat? Hello, everybody. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Tracy. Hi, avoiding eye contact. Let's see who else is in here. Hi, Ryan. I think that's it. Hello to everybody in the bushes. Okay. So, how many of y'all was with Suki in this particular episode? She was a
Because Suki
VIP
had
for
me
me.
screaming. Suki had me screaming. She's like, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Mm-mm-mm. She actually. Wait, where's my phone? Okay, I don't have my phone. God. All right, so this is why we have a backup. This is why we have an iPad. All right, people. Jamal, where do we want to start?
Just start where you want to start because the way I saw this reunion was there were four people who came with the game plan and one person who just went completely rogue. And I hollered.
Well, there was also another person who decided that they weren't participating unless, God, this pains me to do this, unless they were being appreciated. I thought this was the most gross thing to start off the episode with. I really did.
It was.
But I they have gone from, okay, so remember when this show started and they would wear like the very conservative clothes and then multiple shirts on top of each other and all of that, and now
Right.
he is like hypersexualizing this woman. That's how it's coming across to me. She's the diesel jeans model. She's shy, she's loyal, and now she's lickable. It's just super, super gross, Cody. Like, is no one counseling you on your behavior? Is no one counseling you on your behavior? Hold on. Um, Well, okay, so let's kick this off. We don't need to go through everybody's preparations, but I did like Janelle's what she said to Caleb and Maddie. Oh, there's my phone. Jesus Christ. Don't you love it? Um when she said, Suki is so nice, but that's how she gets you. You almost forget that she's interviewing you because she's so nice. And I have to really think about what I'm saying. I was like, wait, what? Okay. So for the one-on-one, um, the crew have rented out a house in Sedona, Arizona. So it's a few hours away from Flagstaff. They are bringing in all of the cast. I guess it starts like filming for the one on one starts October 1st, 2024. Okay. So our season ended the beginning of July 2024. And then Christine's lawsuit for back child maintenance and custody and paternity was in September. He placed McMansion 1 on the market in September, but he didn't sell it until November, right?
Yes, if I recall correctly, yes, November.
All right, so there's a pressure cooker situation here between September and November, and we're caught smack dab in the middle. Um, Also, have to note, Cody has finally upgraded to a Mercedes Benz convertible. I wonder if it's new. Why is he all of a sudden so flushed in money and he has lost the three revenue generating wives? Because I know Robin doesn't contribute. So where is he getting all this money from? Because he hasn't
Uh,
sold McMansion 1. He's probably got a bid in on McMansion 2 because I got to look back at the date that he bought that because he sold the first house after he bought the second house.
but didn't they sell Coyote Pass by this time though?
No, Coyote Pass didn't sell till this
Not
year.
this year. It's this year, right? Okay.
Yeah, Robin didn't sign the papers until March.
Okay. I was trying to help Cody out, but never mind.
No,
Sorry,
there's no
Cody.
helping Cody. There's no helping Cody. Just take a reference from Suki's face. There's no helping Cody. And thank God we have new producers and new editors because now we're going to see the chicanery that he was doing all of these years.
Exactly.
Hi Lisa Rose, welcome, welcome. Hey Wendy, I can't remember if I said hi to you before. If I did, forgive me. If I didn't, sorry. Zillow says it sold on 11/4. So, okay, Wendy, what sold on 11/4? McMansion 1 or 2? Because in however you look at it, he's under pressure, and it makes us realize why he was so hard up on Christine. Hi, Tracy. I'll be listening as I'm cooking, but I wanted to pop in and say hello and chat. Oh, thank you. What are you cooking, Tracy? Are you making some extra for me and Jamal? Thank you. We'll be around right after the show. Um, and did you also notice that everyone came in happy to see Suki with the exception of Robin? Did you
Well,
notice that?
well, yeah, because Robin feels that Suki is anti-Cody, and
Well, we're all
and
anti Cody.
Suki's gonna hold Robin accountable for both her and Cody's actions, just like she does everybody else. And they don't, accountability. They do not like accountability in that house.
No, they don't. But I feel like this particular season, the with the one-on-ones, have gotten off to a different start because they're follow-up questions, and Suki is kind of like, no, but she said, and he said, and that's not what you said.
But
Let's
see,
roll
Suki,
the clip.
thank you, but Suki, but that's the thing. Suki came out with the gate, roll the clip. And
Yep.
she's not giving no kind of grace, no kind of let me ease you into this. She's like, nah, 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 nah. Roll the clip. Let's go.
Well, she did kind of ease them into it with the stupid question about what movie would you be. Last time it was what song would you be. This time it's what movie you would be. And Cody says at first, I'm only going to talk about Cody's Point Break. I guess because of his long hair or something. But he does make a point. He says that it gets easier to have a sense of humor the farther that you get away from Broken. I think he's still in Broken because then he follows up and says he changes his mind. He's Batman Returns because if you don't die the hero, you live long enough to become the villain, and he's laughing about this. And so she asks him if he feels like he's the villain, and he says, I'm being villainized. So this is where the bullshit starts. This is where the bullshit starts. In no way have you convinced me, Cody Brown, that you are taking the fall for everyone else, um, and becoming the villain. You are self sacrificing yourself. You're not. Your behavior has been atrocious over these past few years to these women. You are disgusting. You even opened up this episode licking your tongue in reference to your one remaining wife. How she found that funny, I don't know, but I thought it was degrading.
I just thought it
Uh,
was gross.
it was very degrading. Like, first of all, can't nobody do that in reference to me in public. If we in private, okay, show me what you got. But not in public. Not in public. Mm-mm. That's too intimate. Because the first thing I went to was, I don't think he got any good mouth game. He using like the, oh, never mind. Anyway, girls, y'all know what I'm talking about. What else are we talking about?
Oh,
Okay, so
you
uh,
talking about Tracy's cooking caramelized peppers, onions, and garlic. Then pan fry some small golden potatoes cut in half. Then brown some kielbasa sausage. Stack all that in the bowl when cooked. Add sharp cheddar, your own topping. So I asked, can I get two plates to go, please?
I just need one. And who am I lying? Two, because I'm gonna need some for later. Thank you, Tracy. Check me out
So
here,
wait a minute. So
begging
wait a
the
minute.
menu.
He sold both McMansions. What?
No, 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 no. Remember,
McMansion
he
one.
sold the first one, McMansion one, but he bought McMansion two, the $2.6 million home or $2.1 million home, before he got rid of the first house.
Okay, but Tracy said new McMansion sold on 10/24/24. Okay, Wendy, did he sell both McMansions or just the one? We just that's why I'm confused.
He sold one and bought another one.
Gotcha.
Wait,
Just one.
Wendy, that are you sure you meant to say the new McMansion? He bought the new McMansion on October 24th and sold the old
Oh,
one on November 4th. I think that's
got
what
it.
it is.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Wendy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I got you. All right. So this villainized diatribe, she goes in. He says it's easy to make fun of someone who doesn't have a filter. I'm going to leave that alone. He says he goes through 5 iterations of his truth, and he picks one, and he says that it's been a problem. And I'm like, of course it's a problem. First of all, how can you have 5 iterations of your truth? And then you're going to pick one to use it when you said all 5. He makes no sense. There has to be something wrong with him. There really is. She said, "Run that beautiful bean footage," and he gets very like sarcastic with her. Oh, of course, yeah. Run the clip. Run the clip. I couldn't stand him. Oh my god. He said, okay, so we see a whole scenario, a clip package of him saying he never loved them. Um, and he says at the end, he says he never loved them because of the space he was in the marriage at that time. And it needs to be nurtured. Um, Suki asked him if he nurtured them. He said that there was he said his relationship with Robin was significant, and he wanted to elevate his other relationships to that level.
I screamed. I screamed when he said that. When he lied, I'm like, what?
What does he say? But then we get the responses from the ladies. Mary says that she was in love with Cody and he was in love with her. Um, She says that he is rewriting history like crazy. She says that there's an easy way to blow off the marriage, and she said it's okay to change your mind. Like if you fell in love with somebody and a few years later, people grow and change and you fall out of love. She says that's okay. But you're minimizing me and the fact that we started this family together by saying it never happened. You would have never got your precious higher love woman if it wasn't for Mary. So stop it. Um, then we go to Robin. And she says, as far as him saying he never loved his wives, she felt that he was rewriting the past. And she says that he told her when they were courting, um, he let her know a lot that he loved his wives. And she thought that was an aphrodisiac because he loved all of his wives. And that's what she was going into. What do you think about her response?
That she sent him up for divorce.
She's
Eh,
also covering her ass because I
right.
don't think that Robin has really disassociated herself from the religion. She wants
No,
her
no, no,
next
no.
husband.
Yes.
You're right. You've been saying that for a very long time. She wants her next husband in a plural situation.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Steven
And when
says
she
Cody's lost control. Word
and when
salad.
she and when the thing is though, the funny thing is though, and it's funny not funny when when the ball drops, she's going to claim that he sold her a bill of goods, so to speak, that
Mhm.
the life he promised her wasn't what she received. And she, like you said, she's backing herself up, saying, like, the thing that attracted to me the most about you was that you loved your wives. And she knows how
Mhm.
she made note to say, I kept asking him, did he love his wives? And
Yes.
so you know the when he as soon as he said like I never loved them, she's like, oops, there we go, he lied to me.
Mhm. Yep. She could take that to the elders, because they don't give a shit about Cody right about now. But yeah, I think it's a setup. It What you said is point point on. Um, so Suki says she thought that the tenant was to love everybody equally, and Cody says try that. I thought that was good.
I did well, yeah, he did make me cackle when he said that. I'm like, well, he has a point on this one he has a point.
Now that we're edit free and we seeing it all, guts and gore. Yeah, he was right. He says you find higher love and everybody slaps you down for it. There's a divine aspect about his relationship with Robin, and they were bitch slapped for it, and he's sick of it. He wants peace in the relationship, but he's walking around flipping two fingers because he's so sick and tired of being persecuted for loving Robin. He says it's bullshit. It's pissing him off. The fuck? Who you think you're talking to, bro? You can't be talking to Suki like that. And I think that's when she gave this look. I think that's when she gave this look. I said, oh shit, this is getting off to a wonderful start. But wait, sidebar. Where's Ryan? Okay, Ryan, did you notice how much money she had on her two wrists? I'm still trying to get more information on the necklace because I really love that amulet. But she had on a full size love bracelet. She had on a full size nail bracelet on the right hand, and then on the left hand, oh shit, what did she have on the left hand? I think she had on a jumbo. I know she had on a regular size Tiffany. Um, uh, I think it's the lock bracelet. I can't remember the name of it, but their latest one, Kamala Harris had the necklace during her run for president, and then she had on who's who did he give the present to for damn it, where's my phone? The stuff that he gave to Robin
Oh,
for
Valentine's Day,
yes.
the stuff that she did not want.
That's what she wanted, but she
Oh,
probably gonna
oh,
go
the
and
stuff.
sell it.
Oh, the stuff that you said was not the proper quality for 6Gs.
It isn't.
Not Van Cleef. It
Yerman,
was some
David Yerman.
Yerman. Yeah.
David Yerman. She had on a jumbo vintage one. I was scoping out those wrists. So let me see, about 8 grand, 7,500 on the right. So that's like about 15,500. And then on the left, shit, I got to get the price of the Tiffany. But listen, she had between 20 and 30 G's on both of her wrists. And Cody, this is how you gift to a woman. Where is all of the money coming from? You know, they also had to buy more stuff to fill the extra space in McMansion. They had stuff in storage. Remember, they
Yes.
were using Coyote Pass as storage. That's right. Robin knew Mary's nightmare. Ooh, there's sacred covenant and that sacred cow. Yeah. Okay, so let's get on. Sorry I diverted, but I love Suki's jewelry. If I meet her in a parking lot, she's going down. Let's see. Suki says it's been very apparent with his frustration and anger. She says it. She brings up accountability again. And he said she asked him like, what does Robin do? And he says Robin is good at communicating with him and loving him and respecting herself. And in between that, she says um compromising or something like that to him. And he agrees. And she says he says if another wife wasn't in that space, they still have the opportunity to do it. Each of the relationships has its own opportunity for success and failure based upon the two people that are married. And I thought this was important because there are two people in a relationship. You kept on giving out these task lists for each of these women, with the exception of Robin, because she was perfect, sacred cow. But the other three, you was giving out task lists that were years in the making for them to reach this level, right? And they never could. But then you got mad that they left. Now you can't be giving out a list for the women to fix themselves, but yet you're not doing any of the fixing on you. When you're saying that there's two people that are in a relationship, what are you doing, brah? I'm just asking for a friend. Okay, back in moment, we just skip Cody trying to make an excuse for himself saying you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Yes, Tracy. Yes, Tracy. So what do you think about that, Jamal?
Okay. How can I put this nicely? Cody speaks like he's not one of the two people. Like,
Exactly.
it takes two people. Like, well, sir, you're one of the two people, and you're influencing the relationship the most because you are trying to set the standard of with Robin that the other ladies will never reach because you hold Robin to such you put Robin on such a pedestal the other women will never reach it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can give them these lists and say, okay, do this, this, and this, and I might give you something, but that list is in relation to Robin, and that like I said, that pedestal is so high, they're not going to meet that because they don't want to do all that.
Nope. Nope. It's just very weird how this comes over. Very weird. And he doesn't even that's the sad part. He doesn't realize what he's saying. He's
No.
contradicting himself. And then Janelle says, what self respect? She says that she has self respect, but she doesn't know if he respected her, meaning Cody.
Hmm.
Christine says it's embarrassing to admit that her life was wrapped up in Cody and what he needed and what the family needed. She said even when he wasn't there, um, she was still wrapped up in his needs. And whenever he did get there, it was like everything conformed to what he wanted to do, from what he wanted to watch the
Right.
TV, and everything conformed to him and his needs. Um, she says he didn't just insert into her life, they had to change what they were doing to accommodate him. That's not okay and it's not fair. That makes it so that their lives are focused on him. She's embarrassed by that. She doesn't think that he would need to respect her. Um, Maybe in some ways he did. Girl, he didn't respect you. He
Mm.
didn't. Mm-mm.
If he had respect,
Uh,
here's the thing: if he had respected any of the other three, if he had
mhm.
respected them, he would have sat down with each of them and had a firm, honest conversation. And he
Yeah.
never really did that until
Nope.
he was forced to.
Yep.
Like Christine had to force communication out of no, let me put it this way. Christine had to force honest communication out of him.
Hmm.
Janelle had to force honest communication out of him. Mary had to force honest communication out of him. So it's not the fact that they didn't know how to communicate, it's the fact that when they tried to hold him accountable, when having these conversations, he did not like it. That's really what it
Hmm.
comes down to. And this poor man thinks he's in control of his relationship with Robin, and she's pulling all the strings. So that being said, it's not that Robin is so good at communication. What it is, Robin would conform her communication to get what she wanted out of Cody. And I think somebody else said that in the chat as well, which was a very good point. Where'd it go?
Hmm.
Yeah, somebody said the same thing in the chat. That Robin conformed her communication. Like I said, back to that. It's not that she's a
Hmm.
good communicator, it's but she knows what to say to get what she wants out of him.
Yes. She knows how to manipulate him. Hey, Surf 2. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So then we get to the tier system. Cody had the balls to sit up here and say he probably had more respect for Mary. And then after Mary, he had like less respect for Janelle, but more respect for Janelle than for Christine. Christine was the lowest person on the totem
Right.
pole. How are you getting out here and saying that? And then to add the insult to the injury, he says that Christine was great at cooking him a meal, but she wasn't fixated on his happiness because he was always being reminded that she wasn't happy. She probably felt not respected by him. And Suki says that's a big problem. He says he agrees. Okay, but she wasn't complaining until they got to Vegas, right? Because she was down in the basement when they was in Utah.
Right.
And she was too fucking busy raising everybody's kids. Um,
That too.
but you know what? There was nothing wrong with Christine asking for attention because here's why. Robin came in and demanded his attention to her and her kids, and he willingly did it. And Christine was asking for the same thing, and he ignored her and turned her into a pest. That wasn't right. Um, we go back to Christine. And she says she's hoping that there were some times that he did respect her. She found respect for herself because it formed her into who she is today. He wasn't going to respect her, so she developed it on her own. Like, I wish she had left out the first part. I'm hoping that there were times when he respected me.
Right.
Bump that. Bump that. David, fix it. Next up, we have Mary. And Mary doesn't think he always respected her. She said that there were times that she didn't respect herself for the past 18 years. Uh, no, she didn't respect herself 18 years ago. She didn't respect herself, and she didn't think that she was worthy. She said a lot of people were placing it on her, and she was taking it and she was putting it on her shoulders. What Mary started talking in parables here. What's she talking about? Catfish? Catfish? I thought this was all about
Mm,
catfish.
same.
Cody says everybody wants to make him accountable, and he says make everybody else accountable. And Suki says, I think everyone else is accountable. And he says he's been watching this for years. So he says, um, he says he's been watching this for years. They were accountable when they said they couldn't do it anymore and they left. Somebody needs to give him the definition of accountable and give him some examples because he's never been accountable. How you think we wound up in this mess with Garrison? How you think we wound up in this mess with three women leaving you? Ah, okay. We jump to Robin. She says she thinks that for a very long time he tried to bring the other relationships up to the level that their relationship was. A relationship is based on two people in the relationship. So, okay, so Robin and Cody got their lines together or something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't
Sort
know
of.
this.
Because Cody goes rogue though. Cody goes
Yes,
off the
he
beam. Like
does.
so like Robin will be sitting there all trying to be poised and like, okay, this is what we've agreed to. We should be good. Then you see Cody come in and say all kinds of stuff like, that's not what Robin said.
Mm-hmm. Next, okay, so then Suki brings up like the leveling up to Christine, and Christine says, I'm gonna tell you straight up, that's 100% a lie. That is not the truth. He was not available, nor present, nor accommodating to make that happen. He said that before, and she said, when? When was there time to do that? Nor time, nor opportunity, nor willingness. It's just not true. She felt like he wasn't interested in developing a deeper relationship with her. From the time Robin came, things changed. What you think about that? Christine got persnippety.
Christine, see Christine, she like, look, I got my new man, my new husband who loves me and only me. He blowing on my back real good. She never loved anyone more. She loved David way more she ever loved Cody. She right now she's in her I don't give a damn era, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
here for it. So what she's doing, she's saying, and people might get mad at her sometimes because she kind of says things over like with David and her, blah, blah, but you have to realize this woman has felt like a 15th wheel in her own marriage for pretty much the entirety. And she suppressed a lot of things to keep the family together because that's what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
She was there, she was down for the family. Now the family's falling apart. Cody's revealed his true colors and how he feels about her. She's letting loose her real feelings about him and Robin. That's what it really comes
Mm-hmm.
down to. She's no longer I think she no longer feels the pressure of having to keep the peace
Mm-hmm.
because there was pretty much never any peace when Robin came into the picture. So now she's like, I don't have anyone to protect. Most of our kids are grown, and the kids who aren't grown, they know what it is. They've seen it for themselves. So she's like, I no longer have to appease anybody. I think that's the best word. She doesn't have to appease anybody.
Mm-hmm.
She could tell, like, quote unquote, her truth
Mm-hmm.
freely. because
Mhm.
she has so much. She has a husband who supports her like 1,000%. Baby, you do what you gonna do, girl. I'm just gonna be right here. Um, and we'll go to the like to like maybe the Golden Corral or something once we done. So
Not the
that's just
Golden
where she is in life.
Corral. She stepped
that's
up.
just that's just that's just where she is right now. And you can
Mhm.
see the sense of freedom in her face and when she's talking.
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
whereas before, if you remember the way she would talk before, she was
Mhm.
very
Timid.
deferential,
Yep.
timid, deferential.
Mhm.
I would look to see her like looking around for approval. Now she's sitting there
Mhm.
with Suki in her pink suit. Let me tell you how it is, Suki. Let me just let you know how it's going down. And she just doesn't care. And you can tell she doesn't care.
Mhm. So now we flip to Janelle. Suki says when Robin came in and Cody experienced the divine love, he said he wanted to raise every wife up to that level to assure the same experience. And Janelle says it would have been nice if he had communicated that back then. So um, he says that they tried and they just didn't want to come along. She says that he never talked about that with her. Now remember, Janelle is the record keeper and the bookkeeper. So she was his confidant all of them years back. So he used to talk about the other women to her. So she
Right.
got all the secrets. She know where all the bones are buried. And I believe her when she said he never spoke to her about that. I
Oh,
believe her.
I believe that 1,000%. Because to me, of all the wives, okay, so this is the way I look at it.
Hmm.
Mary was kind of like the matriarch to a degree, like she was like first wife, right? Then you
Hmm.
had Janelle. Janelle was more of like you said, the confidant, the best friend, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Christine was like the mother, like the child
Nurturer.
raiser, the nurturer.
Hmm.
Thank you. And you have Robin. She
Hmm.
was
The hoe.
uh like Robin was his
Mistress.
um yes, well, that's the best word I could use. I just, I just, I just want to use the other word because it's really, really degrading and rude. That's the best I could
Well,
do. So each wife fulfilled a particular role for him.
mm,
So, when you look at it that way, Janelle, yeah, he told Janelle everything. Because
hmm,
if you really look at it, of the three wives who left, he really wanted to be remain friends with Janelle the most by far,
hmm. Yep.
by far. But she's
Hmm.
I'm not into it. No, thank you.
Nope. Nope. She was done. And then we flip to Mary. And Mary says, I don't think that's fair for him to even say. So are we all supposed to be Robin? I'm sorry. I'm Mary. I'm not going to be Robin. I don't want to be Robin. I'm going to be my own individual person. I don't want to be her. If they're great together, that's awesome. It's an unfair statement. They could be equal but different on they can be equal but different. She says only if he accepts Mary um for the last 12 to 14 years, or maybe even more, because what he's saying now is that he never loved her. He wished that he had never met her or married her. And she says it's really cruel to come to that realization. I was like, oh, break it down, Mary.
Well, see, this just
Um,
tells me Mary and Janelle have been really been talking recently.
yes, because did you notice there was one clip where Mary was going off and they showed Janelle's face smiling?
Yes.
I was like, oh, they've done more than get lawyers together. But I'm glad Mary's finally coming out of it. Like, come on, girl, get with the giddy up. Um,
You know why that happened? In my opinion, the reason why that happened is because she finally saw Robin for who she really was. She finally
mhm,
stopped trying to get Cody's approval and started
mhm,
listening to her true friends and really putting the pieces together. And then
mhm,
speaking with Janelle, putting other pieces together. I think that's really what happened here. that
Mm-hmm.
she realized Robin was never really for her. And ma'am, sorry, you should have realized that when they came to you and asked you to divorce Cody so she could marry him legally. That should have been like, yeah, that should have been it right there.
Okay, so another key part is coming up. Suki is talking to Cody, and she tells him Mary finally came to that realization. So then she tells him to watch the clip packet, and we see Cody's reaction to the spiritual release. And we see Mary saying in the clip package that this is her frustration. He says that he couldn't leave her because my church believes, but I don't believe in the church. He didn't want her to do the divorce process through the church because he didn't believe in the church. So why is he so stuck on it? He can't leave his wife because the church says so. But she says it was the stupidest comment and it was very insulting. And what are they? So what do you think about that? What did she say? Like his flip flopping. Either you in the church or you ain't in the church.
Right, because the thing with that is, but was it Janelle or Mary who said he's always been wishy-washy on everything? So this is not really a surprise. And also, you realize, Cody, you may not believe in the church, but the the foundation of the family was religion. If we really want to break it down, it was religion. So yeah, you may not believe, but your public persona and your family's built foundation and built on religion. So he's more concerned about how things look, optics, if you will, than anything else. I'm like, sir, if you were really concerned about optics, you would not be behaving the way you're behaving.
Yep. Yep. Um, Janelle made some comments about, that clip, that package being a zinger, and you're not an adult, you can't handle it. Is he going to paint her like some sort of psychotic person? She doesn't know. Christine says with Mary, we just didn't ever know if she was going to be easier or hard. They were walking on eggshells a lot. And then she kind of changes it. And she says she doesn't want to do any damage. She doesn't want to damage her life because she's a different person now as an individual. She changed her life, throwing her under a bus is not what Christine wants to do with Mary. She's trying so hard and she wants her to have the best life possible, and this is her wish for Mary. So I like Christine. She started off in the negative from the past, but then she stops, she recognizes what she's saying, and then she states that Mary has changed. So it seems like their relationship is getting back on track. And she's
Right,
giving Mary kudos for changing. Now remember when Christine left, she said she ain't want to be friends with Mary.
right,
This is a big, as they say, a big deal here. Christine admitting this, I thought that was very telling. Um, then we flip to Cody. Cody says that when Mary got the divorce, um, he was telling the family that nothing will change. He came to the feeling that Mary didn't believe, and that she shifted. Something in her changed. Suki asked what shifted. Cody says he doesn't want to tell her because he wants to protect her, and they are friends now. And he's sick of telling people a story that Mary has moved herself away from what? That Mary has moved herself away. It's foreign to her. And he's seeing things that are bothering him. And she's going from friend to friend to friend. Now that they've broken up, complaining about it. And it's a pattern that was there, a part of their lives for 25 to 30 years in the past. where she would go from friend to friend complaining about him. This is such word vomit. But when did they become friends? What is it that he wants to protect her from? Shut up. She got more dirt on you than you have on her, Cody. Um,
Exactly.
but always trying to spin a narrative that you're trying to protect these women, but yet you treat them like dog shit. Who are you protecting? The only person you're protecting is Robin. And 9 times out of 10, you fail at that shit too. Oh my God. Um, we flip back to Christine and she says she's glad that Mary got the release. She was glad that it was on abandonment because it was the truth. Suki wants her to explain the abandonment. And and she says he doesn't go to her house anymore. As she's right that she did the divorce. And that was the beginning of the downfall. So it's not even her departure that was the beginning of the downfall. It's Mary getting this abandonment release. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is actually.
Wow.
You know what it is though? I think with Christine leaving, it's like okay, it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
And Christine, I think Chris was him. Christine was the most negligible one of the wives, like the one he felt he could do without the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he knew Christine wasn't going to cause waves because she just wanted to be gone and be done with him. And
Mm-hmm.
he was pissed, but he was okay with that. But for Mary to go to the higher ups and
Yep.
tell them I need this release because of abandonment,
But
it
she
puts the
didn't tell them that. Remember, Mary says she never told them abandonment. She went to
right,
them and they examined what happened and
right,
gave abandonment.
true. I misspoke.
Mm-hmm.
But just her going to them saying I want a release puts a whole negative
Mm-hmm.
spotlight on him. Like
Yep. And
Cody never wants to be seen as the bad guy ever,
yep.
even when he is the bad guy.
Yep. Yep. No accountability. And I wanted to make that clear because Robin tries to twist it later on. So Suki asked Robin about abandonment. Does she think Cody abandoned Mary? Robin says she's not going to hit that right now because there is different opinions about what happened back then and she has respect for both of them, meaning Cody and Mary. She and I'm just like, so you're not fucking going to answer, deduct her
Exactly.
pay. Oh my god. So what, there were different opinions. What was your opinion?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so sick of her. Okay, hold on. Alexa, turn on bedroom air purifier. Thank you. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm getting stuffed up. Um, then we see Suki talking to Mary about the divorce. Um, about when he said that after the legal divorce with Mary, that he left with Mary, took her to dinner, gave her a piece of jewelry, and then had sex with her afterwards. She's never liked that comment.
Right. Did you see Suki's face? Like, did you think you did something? I mean, that's just the way she came across to me when he said that. And she was
Mm-hmm.
looking at him like, that's it? Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like you ain't did shit, but okay.
Um, Mary says that that was weird commentary, as she doesn't remember if they had sex because that was 10 years ago. Um, she says that early on they made an agreement not to talk about bedroom stuff, and he went on and did it anyway. Um, he says now that he didn't love her all those years before, and he was just trying to affirm that he loved her from what he says about um, from what he says about that, that makes complete sense. That completely makes sense. And he didn't want to be married to her legally. He was afraid of what she would do. Was he afraid that she wouldn't sign the divorce papers? Is she going to be holding him hostage? The whole thing regarding the legal divorce has been difficult and hurtful. She can't help but wonder if there was some sort of idea or plan on his part. She doesn't know, and it's just, I think it's unsettling for her.
Well, I
Um,
agree.
but didn't she answer this question in another, like last season? I swear she did. And she said, I swear she said no, but I can't remember. This seems different. This response seems different to what I recall her discussing previously. That's the honest truth. Because I don't remember her saying that it, like she can't remember. I thought she said no, that didn't happen. And then she explained that
Mm,
he paid attention to her for like a month and then he
right.
disappeared. That's what I remember her saying about that legal divorce. Um, let's see. After the divorce was granted, you married Robin legally. Soon after that, she moved out. Um,
No, she said you moved out and never came back. And then he says, no, that didn't
ah,
happen. He said, no, that didn't happen. She
yes,
kicked
this
me
is the
out.
gap. Yeah, this he says. That's a lie. That's gaslighting that she's done to herself, that she's done to herself. Something happened and he was kicked out of the house. He was laying in his bed, refusing to leave her house, and something was going on that he will not speak of it anymore. And he spoke about it enough. She's convinced herself that it never happened. He's not talking about it anymore because they're friends. Go to the old episodes, he tells Suki. Um, will never agree on why they broke up, ever. She told the leaders of the church that she was abandoned. Fine. He doesn't care. What the hell?
Exactly.
Cody sounds like a whole mess to deal with. Um, then we flash to Janelle. And Janelle is asked about a potential ulterior motive to get married to divorce, legally divorce Cody. And Janelle says she remembered Mary saying that it was her idea and maybe it was suggested to Mary. Um, Maybe she thought that's why she should do it. She doesn't think that Cody is sophisticated enough to create that kind of situation. She doesn't think
That was
he thinks
hilarious.
like that. Oh my gosh, she just called him dumb as a box of rocks while shaking.
Exactly.
But in essence, calling out Robin without
Exactly.
saying her name. This was her, Janelle. Janelle is shady as fuck during this episode. Oh my God. Then we get to Christine. I know I heard Christine talk about this. She said when Robin first came into the family, she would talk about examples about a guy was divorcing the first wife to marry another wife in order to adopt the kids. She says she herself, Christine, had never heard about that before. And then she says Mary, um, wouldn't like then she says like Mary comes up and says that it's her idea. Christine doesn't know. Like when she was talking about this before, she was talking about planting the seeds. I was like, oh, okay. Then Suki go and ask Robin. She asked Robin if she put it out there. And she says she doesn't remember talking about it. She said Cody's dad, but yes, she said Cody's dad did it. When? Did he adopt Janelle? I don't know.
Exactly. I'm like, what?
Then she says, but I've known of people who have done it. She doesn't remember talking about it. And then she laughed when she's told that Christine remembers her talking about it. And she had the most snarky laugh and smirk on her face when Christine's name is mentioned. She got a real hard on for that woman. And if any of y'all think she has a real relationship or had a real relationship with McKelty, she was using that child to turn that child against her mother. That's what I got to say about that. Robin does not like Christine at all. Next, we go to Mary. Mary says that it wasn't Robin who brought that up. Mary has seen people who have done it herself. Suki says that Christine says seeds were planted. Um, and Mary says she doesn't know how Christine would have a reason to feel like that. She's not going to say she is right or wrong. She doesn't know. So she's not even coming back hard at Christine like how she normally do. I think the OG3 coordinated. By this time, I think the OG3 coordinated
Of course they did. They had to.
on this. Oh my God. Okay, so next we go back to Robin. And Suki asks, why does abandonment hit so hard for Cody? And Robin says it's because he is someone who is present and he's loyal, and there are differing opinions about what happened then. And that's why it bothers him. Um, and it says, the church, okay, so why it bothers him? Doesn't the church release people for abandonment? Okay, so I think Suki rephrases the question. She says, doesn't the church release people for abandonment? And Robin says, no, not always. Um, she says that it's what she asked for. It's about their disagreement about what happened. She kicked him out of her house. She was saying she needed space, so she doesn't know. So if you don't know, how you know she kicked him out of the house and that she needed space? So this wishy-washy type of response from Robin is planting seeds. You're saying is that Mary went and asked for the abandonment charge. You're saying that they had a disagreement and that she kicked him out of the house and that she needed space. So you're blaming her for telling him this, and he was only giving her what she asked for, space, abandoning her. I don't like Robin. I don't like Robin at all. Robin, I hope everybody see you. I hope the new prophet, Melody's dad, sees you and does not reassign you to a new marriage. And if they do, I hope they horsewhip you every day. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. But kind of like maybe on the first day. I don't know. Do a Trump just on the first day. Anyway, what do you think about that? Do you think like she's like dropping seeds? Like this, what she's saying here sounds like what Christine is saying. Like she's dropping seeds, but then backing out. Or like my mother used to say, throw a rock and then hide your hands. Hmm. Jamal, are you still there or are you on mute?
I'm here. I was
Okay.
listening.
Mm-hmm. So
But
what do you
he's
think?
a which part? Just so I know where you're coming from.
Um, when she said that Mary asked for abandonment when she went to get the release, and that basically they had a disagreement. Mary kicked Cody out of the house, saying that she needed space, but then she turns around and says, "But I don't know."
But here's the thing, though.
Mhm.
She was wrong because remember, Mary didn't. You brought it back that Mary didn't ask for abandonment. The church
Mhm.
determined it was an abandonment. So
Yep.
for Robin to sit there to say that Mary asked for it on the count of abandonment lets me know,
Hmm.
like, okay, you and Cody got together to cook this up to
Yep. Spin their own
reinforce this
narrative.
narrative. Yes.
Hmm.
Because Suki asked the question, she just asked, would the church give, does the church normally give a release on abandonment, right? She said on abandonment, not for it. Robin
Hmm.
said because she asked for it.
Hmm.
That's not accurate. Nope. That was my
Hmm.
problem with it. I'm like,
Yep.
that doesn't sound quite right. That's what I'm like, we're talking about. So you remind me that she didn't ask for him, that she just went and say, "Hey, I need a release." She told them
Hmm.
everything, and the church determined
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So it's not that Mary asked for it. Mary just asked for a release.
That's right. That's right. So
And then, oh,
then,
sorry.
hmm,
Also,
hmm,
what the reason Robin is saying stuff like that is because she doesn't want to be the bad guy. Because if you notice what Suki's doing, Suki's going back. She's not sticking just solely in the present. She's trying to lay a foundation of like a timeline here. And she's doing it very expertly, might I say. And Robin will, if you notice, Robin will not acknowledge anything about herself.
nope.
Any kind of controversy, quote unquote controversy she might be involved in, she will not answer.
Hmm.
She's trying to play it very close to the vest because she's trying not to incriminate herself or take any accountability for her role in the downfall of this family.
While staying true to the faith. I think that's also very important to her in, in the hopes that she could get into another arrangement.
Right.
You
So
know, she
basically, but you said that though because that's another good point. She can't afford to out herself nor throw Cody under the bus because this is being seen basically all over the world. And
Mhm.
you know, other people of her faith are looking at this or are looking at her like, okay, is she going to remain true to her husband or is she going to go along with the ex-wives? So she's in a very precarious situation, and she of everyone does need to watch her words. If she plans to hook another fish,
Well, she's already like got a ex next to her because she is spiritually tied to someone who's been charged with abandonment at least once and could get two more charges.
hmm
So she's really trying. Like this doesn't look good for her if she's trying to get a new situation. Is what
oh,
I'm
a
saying.
thousand percent agree.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Um,
can even see the way she's answering the questions right now. And this is only episode one, by the way.
I
The way
know.
the when she's answering the questions, like she is tap dancing like Gregory Hines out there. I'm like, ma'am, just
Hmm.
answer it directly.
It's painful. It's painful to watch. Then we go back to Cody, and Cody says that until the catfishing thing, he was at everybody's house, and he says the catfish thing was the catalyst. He said he was in his bed listening to Mary upstairs all night long, giggling on the phone. There's a dysfunction in your communication when there's so much animosity. She asked him to leave. He was kicked to the curb. It appeared to be something that it wasn't. He felt that there was a betrayal and he was wondering if there was a future. He said, Mary should be frustrated. Frustrated is the length of time that it took him to tell her it wasn't going to happen. Now, again, he's laying in his bed and he can hear her upstairs talking on the phone with somebody. Boy, if you don't shut your mouth, shut your mouth. So you telling us that y'all was sleeping in different bedrooms in Vegas? You? I don't believe any of this. I don't believe any of this. I don't think Mary would have been on the phone with her supposed catfish man with him downstairs. She was doing that on the computer, wasn't she?
hmm
Because didn't Leon tell her that that's dangerous? You don't know who you talking to on the computer? I
Right.
don't know. I think this is all a lie. I think this is all a lie, and again, more narrative that they are spinning. Oh wow, she's listed his wife too on open. Who died? Cody was never at Mary's house in Vegas. He was trying to be a victim again. Thank you, Tracy. Tell us when to come for our food. Um, Okay, so then we go and we go back to Mary. Mary said that when she married Cody, she didn't plan on getting divorced. There was a time when she was in a very dark place and she needed to get through that. And then she saw a time where she perceived him to be in a very dark place after Flagstaff. Um, to her, marriage is you stick to it and you make it work. She didn't realize until this past year, seeing some of the things that he said, he wasn't interested in doing that. She doesn't want to put blame on him, but in this situation, she's comfortable in putting the blame on him. Hallelujah. That sounds like something Jen would say, though.
Right.
Um, Um, then Cody goes back and he's saying he hopes that Janelle realizes that they had a renaissance in Vegas. Is there a Renaissance hotel in Vegas that he keeps on referring to? I don't
Probably.
know. They were good there. He doesn't know what went wrong between them, but it made him angrier until he was like, he's just done. Um, and she was too. It seems like the two of them were missing each other. Um, then we have, hold on. She says, "No, you were not," and those clips kind of prove. Oh my God, I think this is Suki saying, "No, you were not," and these clips kind of prove it, and they show the clip montage. And he says that Janelle likes to throw around words like ego and failure. It's a shared failure, and it could be just as simple as them knowing each other well enough, and they've had the children and the life experience, and now it's over. He says him wanting to give it more was about to give it another shot was about his children, his family, than it was about, like, I guess, their relationship. More word vomit, but I don't think that was a mutual thing. I think that it was a slow as molasses process for Janelle to finally say she was done. But once he had done the damage to her kids, she was out. Janelle's a lot of things, but you fuck around with her kids, there's no coming back from it. What do you think, Jamal?
But Janelle, like you said, with Janelle, she's always been firm about her kids though.
Mm-hmm.
Always, like they've always been her first priority. She's never hidden that fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she wanted to keep the family together, like around the C19 days,
Mm-hmm.
because she didn't want to see her family break apart. But once he told her to kick the kids out the house, that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, we go back to Robin and she says, I think we're all failures, not just Cody. Stop making excuses, girl. She thinks it's funny. It takes two to make a relationship and it takes two to break a relationship. Wrong. One person can break a relationship. She says that things that are being said don't need to be said because it's just so destructive. Suki asks her why she doesn't watch the clips. And she says that they're too disturbing. It's just destructive. It's really hard for her to rehash it. And she says that they just sit there talking crap about each other. It's very toxic. No, girl, they're talking crap about you. It's
Right.
no longer them fighting amongst each other. And you don't want to watch the clips because you don't want to see your guilt and you don't want to hear that they figured out what you've been doing. That's all that is. Then we go to Janelle, and she says that in these circumstances that he's talking like he's not distraught about the relationship. She's not wearing a victim card. She wonders if it's his ego. Either he's running interference so hard for Robin so that Robin doesn't get any blame because she thinks they're both culpable for their actions, or it's his ego. Um, he doesn't embrace the culture. Everyone has left the church, but he is a failure as far as what is expected of a man in plural marriage. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. Janelle was just driving the nails in. He's a failure. I hope we
That was
go into depth,
hilarious.
but I hope we go into depth on that next week. I hope that opens up next week because this week I think it was more about Mary's abandonment. And I think
Right.
I'm hoping that this is Janelle's segue into next week, going through the failures of Cody Brown. Cannot wait. This is a good episode. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Fucking Hallelujah. Hey, Suki came to play. Finally, she has a production company and an editing department that is allowing her to be the Emmy Award winning journalist that she is. Y'all thought that she was doing all these softball questions and wasn't following up. That's a lot to do with what questions she is given, what questions are edited in and out. This is Suki. And she don't care if she get fired. You see, she walking around with $25,000 to $30,000 worth of jewelry on just her wrist. Give me a break. Ugh. Anyway, y'all. Jamal, any final thoughts on this episode?
This is the fact that Cody is going rogue is just it's just fascinating to me. And like to see him get worked so worked up over like the littlest things is comedy to me. And I love the fact that Robin's not there to try to calm him down. Just let him be
Mm-hmm.
himself. Let him
Yep.
just out all the business. He
Yeah.
tells it himself.
Yep. He'll spin out with all of his word vomit. You don't get to. Oh, I just can't imagine not wanting more for your little girl than to blindly obey men. Oof. It's like Cody thinks if he says something in anger, well, he was just angry and we should forget that because he's not angry anymore, bro. That's what 2-year-olds do. No wonder you get along. Oh my god. Mary's mom was such a pick me? Really? Uh, what else y'all saying in here? I think that Cody thinks that time changes to suit Cody's lies. Yeah. Uh, like if I knew how to make videos on YouTube, I'd just go back and roll the clip showing with proof the lies. Oh. I think he's lying about him and Janelle's renaissance. He clearly doesn't like heavier women. Really? You think that that's just it? Mary's mom really pisses me off. Brought her up in all this and berated her if she complained about Cody. Look, it's hard to break people out. Mary calls this a cult. It's hard to deprogram people, especially when they get older. Um, you know, but let her rest in peace. That's part of the narrative. I don't believe any wife got any love from him in Vegas when the cameras weren't there. I kind of believe that because remember when David was asking Christine when they were packing at the beginning of the episode? He asked like where was Cody, and Christine was like, oh, I knew where he was. So I think all of that fell apart. I think doing the separate houses made it easier for him to ignore the other women. So, and he's too arrogant or stupid to remember all this stuff has been recorded to refute his lies. Oh my goodness, yeah. He lies so much and doesn't have the intelligence to keep up with the lies. He's used to getting big angry and everyone cowering, sad little man. Yep, it. Auntie says Cody likes them pretty in the face and thick in the waist. Ah! And on that note, Jamal, any final thoughts on this episode?
No, we are good to go. I'm looking more and more forward to this meltdown he's gonna have.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Are you looking forward to the second
Yes,
episode?
and I'm going to need them to play Cody's the clips from Mary talking to her girlfriends. That would just send him completely over the edge.
Lena! Hello, my love. She says, good to see you all. Yay! Nice to see you as well. And I'm glad that you came back. And you say glad Suki is on her shit this time. I think it's because they're allowing her. It's a different production
Right.
company.
Different production,
It's
yes.
just a different feel to this. It this feels different. This really feels different. But thank you for coming back, Lena. Maybe he'll get so sorry, so angry he blows his hair plugs out of his head. Those cannot be hair plugs, Tracy. How many installments are there? Three or four? I think there's four. Oh, and I forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode, they did put up a black screen saying that they were not going to be talking about Garrison's passing at all in the one-on-ones, which I think is fair.
Yes.
Um, we're relying on her skills. I'm loving this expression on Suki's face. She looks done. Yep. Suki could just knock him out flat. Yep. I agree. The ones in the front are hair plugs. Are you serious? Just those four random ramen noodles are hair plugs? Why doesn't he fill in the U-turn that's behind them? You know he's got a whole ball U behind there. He should get more. Oh my god. I couldn't sit through the tell-all until you broke it down. Now I have to watch. Why are we so backwards? They should give you guys full access to clips. Oh,
Yeah, they like to strike. They like to strike. TLC loves to
yeah.
strike people.
And I just don't have the time to pull clips. Sorry. I this is the best I could do. I loved her face and that's why I put it up there, but I don't even have time to get snips, like pictures, freeze frames, or anything like that.
Yeah,
We
if
are
I
we are
would do
not.
it, I would do it, but not when they
We're gonna
strike.
get struck, yeah.
Yeah, they're notorious for striking people.
And we got struck once. We're not gonna go through that again. But no one tunes into us. We're not a real YouTube channel. So if you want all those bells and whistles, it's not here. But we can talk about it. Thank you, Maxine. As far as I know, those tentacles in the front are plugged in. What the hell? No, if he paid for those, he should get his money back.
I
Agreed. Oh
agreed.
my God. He got a landing strip on his head that goes from ear to ear. The hell? Who does that? You're the reason some of us even watch, subscribe to Discovery Plus because of what creators like you discuss. They need to realize that. Oh wow.
Yeah, Maxine's life. We've been saying this for years. Because like a couple of years ago when we first like got started, TLC struck us, and then they struck a whole bunch of other channels, and we are like, well, without people like us talking about your shows, people really would not watch them because they want to see what we're talking about and want to see it for themselves. But they don't see it that way. They see it as people using their content and taking money from them. I'm like, y'all want to make too much damn money to be worried about these like 3 cents. Shut up.
Thank you, Wendy. We appreciate it. I love this. Look at this. Lisa says, his hair has got to be a humiliation ritual. I agree. He should at least invest in a partial lace front. Not the lace front. They don't. They don't know nothing about that out in Flagstaff.
No.
I started watching the stupid shows because of the content. It was so good. Otherwise, I wouldn't watch these shows. Steven, we love you for
Okay,
that.
okay. Before we go, did you get to watch like any of the Moment Wise?
I watched season one in its entirety, and I
I
got
see. I knew
through
you. Were,
episode one of season two,
I
and
knew you
I
were gonna
had to
binge it.
go. It just, it just rolls one into another. And I think it was Saturday because my hair appointment got changed from Saturday to Sunday. So I said, fuck it. I'm just going to watch this.
It was to me. I was like, y'all are a mess. They have me screaming. They run around here mad at each other, cussing each other out. Talking about so and so, so and so's husband. Yeah, it's a mess. I scream. I'm like, okay, I need more episodes. This is what, like I said, this is what they wanted Salt Lake City, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to be, and it wasn't.
Really?
The fact that they're
Oh,
talking
wow.
about remember they're talking about the swinging and this and that and whose families
Hmm.
with who and who does what and where you went to school. That's what they wanted Salt Lake City, Real Housewives to be, but it wasn't because we didn't get none of that.
Wow. This is a mess, though. It really is. I didn't know women could be so bitchy. And I got through half of season one. I'm not gonna lie. And I really thought that the moms talk was like cheerleaders dancing on YouTube. I
Oh,
didn't know what they were doing.
hmm,
I didn't know until Whitney, the girl that wanted to buy the farm, um,
right,
she was like, I got the vibrator deal for 20 grand. I said, oh, they're influencers. And then
yes,
Ryan was telling me that's how they make money. They can't get
yes,
jobs. So
hmm.
that's how they make money. I'm like, the fuck? I thought they was cheerleaders or something. It just
And they're the
was not
breadwinners,
computing.
and all of them are the breadwinners in their household.
And the girl that has the white blonde hair husband who's supposed to be in medical school and talking to her like she a piece of shit, saying he divorcing her for going to Chippendales. I
Oh,
was like,
Jen,
wait, what?
that's Jen, yeah.
But then came back in season two saying, I'm I wrote to the dean saying that I'm quitting. I need to come back here to repair our marriage. I want to be with you. I was like, you sure you ain't get expelled? That smelled like a expelled to me. Because if he couldn't get into the New York school and he wound up in the Arizona school and it's been months that he's been out there, they've been separated, that smells like expulsion to me.
And the fact that she let him even in the house
She's dumb as a
and
box of
and was
rocks
sleep
well
with
shaken.
sleep with him unprotected and you get pregnant? Ma'am.
Oh, I ain't even get that far. She get
Oh,
pregnant?
I'm sorry. Oops.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care about that.
Okay.
I love
Yes.
things being spoiled for me. Someone
Yes,
just said in the IG review about the
she winds up
fall.
getting pregnant and she breaks down in tears.
Because she finds out that he was cheating?
No, because she's pregnant. Like
She
she's
didn't want to
devastated.
get pregnant?
Not right now, no.
Why? What is she doing that's so
Oh, because
important that
they
she can get
no,
pregnant?
because they're going through a lot of issues. Like their relationship is really, really bad. The way he talks to her, treats her, it's a whole mess. He wants her to leave the mom talk. I'm like, what? Oh, and did you get to the part where allegedly, supposedly, his parents gave them a lump sum of money?
Yes,
Yeah,
they talked
yes,
about that in
they talked
season
about
one. They gave him a
yes,
lump sum of money to pay for medical school, and he gambled it away. But
no,
she's a dumb bitch because when they went to Vegas, he
she gave him
went
twenty
with
five hundred.
her. And why are you going to give him 2,500 to go to the tables when you
No,
know he has an issue?
so it wasn't for medical school. It was to tide them over. It was for expenses while he was in medical school. Yes,
What?
yes,
Oh.
it was to help them. Okay, they have two small children. It was to help them to ease the burden of the bills
Oh, so he took
because
the kitchen money, the grocery money,
yes.
and gambled. How much grocery money were they getting?
No, it was no. I believe the lump sum it was to cover all their expenses while he was in medical school, or at least help
Wow.
to help with the expenses. Yeah.
Yes, you heard that, Steven. Like these little girls on this show on Hulu, they so bitchy.
Oh
And for
yeah,
no reason.
Ryan. Demi's a mess. And I saw this online. Demi's feeling herself because she had a great season, but for her to go after Jesse and her business, I was like, ugh. And then to come back and say like, well, we weren't best friends at the time. I'm like, wow.
Their marriage is rocky, so the last thing she needed was to get
Yes.
pregnant again. Well, then go on the pill. Put one of those things in your arm. Get an IUD. He's not gonna reach it.
Or how about you not allow him back in the house?
Well, my
That
thing
was
was, I said to Ryan, I was like, why is she letting this bum, expelled bitch come back in here? Is he planning to get a job? And Ryan wrote back and said, no, he's planning to live off of her.
right.
She must. Yes, I know, but I'm trying to like amp up this. What is this? The Real House Sluts
The
of
secret, the secret lives of Mormon wives.
the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. This is what Jamal told me to watch on this good Memorial
Yes,
weekend.
and it is good. I don't care what you said. They're all train wrecks.
Jesse is supposed to be her bestie. Jesse's only bestie is her salon and the money that it makes. Just going to
Oh,
school was enough
and
proof for
oh,
him.
and the guy from apparently and the guy from Vanderpump Villa, but we haven't got there yet.
Wait, Vanderpump Villa? Who he's sleeping with him?
Allegedly they thought it was Demi who had hooked up with him, but in this last episode that came. Apparently he said, yeah, Demi was hot. I was trying to get it, but she, Mormon swinger, blah, blah, blah. But I guess she really wasn't about it. But he scoped out Jesse, and apparently, Jesse was the one who was with the shits and on more than one occasion.
Wait, Demi is the one that's married to the 74-year-old man.
Yes.
Okay, and she's a swinger. And then Jesse. So Jesse was a swinger too?
Apparently, Demi used to be a swinger. I think Jesse was too, but no longer. Jesse's married to Jordan. Jesse's the one who owns the salon. So,
Right, Jizz.
yes, but apparently people thought it was Demi who hooked up with what Marciano, what his name is, from Vanderpump Villa. But he said on camera to Layla that no, I was trying to get it, but she wasn't giving. But Jesse's hot too, and apparently Jesse was with the shits, as I said, and Layla's
So
like, one
wait, when
time
you
he's all
saying this
no.
shit, she had diarrhea?
She was she jumped on him a couple times apparently.
Ow.
So, but we haven't. But we saw the conversation between Layla and Marciano. You haven't gotten that far yet. But according to
Wait,
the
it's not
previews,
74?
he's
How
47.
old?
47.
Oh, okay. I was close. I was close.
So yeah, but it'll come out soon, and it's gonna be a whole like breakdown. Demi has walked out of Mom Talk. She said after the last meeting, she said, "F all y'all, I'm leaving." Whitney is like happy that she's back in Mom Talk, and like of course she's a mess. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a lot.
But wait, what's happening to the girl that had the baby at the end of last season with that dude,
Oh, Taylor.
Jordan? Taylor. Yes, Taylor. Okay, so in episode 1 of season 2, this is what I watched. She found out, she went and talked to the other girl. What's her name? Jessica, or something like that. And she produced the receipts, the text messages. What is it that the girl from Salt Lake City said? Receipts, time, date
Timeline.
stamp, and all of this foolishness. That girl came and she found out that the guy was deleting parts of the email chain. So she filled in everything that was missing. And she was like, oh, he's a slut. Wait, what? First of all, how does this girl actually write a direct message to Macy saying, I think I accidentally slept with Taylor's boyfriend? The fuck? How old are these women? And
They're between
the mixed race girl, did she find anybody? The girl
Layla.
that had the divorce. Yes, I like her because you know why? She
Well,
don't talk.
Layla. Well, you'll find out. Layla gets messy later in the season, and I stopped liking her because she did some BS, and I don't agree with it. By short, she showed a group message,
Mhm.
a group chat that Taylor was not a part of, and let Taylor read the messages.
Thank you. I think it's the same thing. Oh, and
Yeah,
Taylor
I didn't
wasn't
like her after
supposed to
that.
see it.
No.
Oh. So is Taylor still in the talk thing, the
Yeah, she
dancing?
is.
And Whitney came back, and who's fighting for head top dog or whatever?
Well, Demi, it was between Demi and Taylor, but Demi got pissed because Demi's not wrong in the things that she says about Taylor. She's
Mhm.
absolutely right, but the way she says it, and it's not so much about Taylor. They're mad that she dogged out Jesse. That's why they're really pissed at her.
Oh.
It's not so much behind Taylor, even though she's trying to get Taylor bullied out. They're mad about that. They're more pissed about Jesse.
Oh, and Layla is now dating an ugly bishop's son. But he's never going to marry her, right? Because she's got two children. The-
We don't know, but when you look at them together, you just look at them like how. I'll put it that way.
oh. Layla was supposed to have Taylor's back, but kept her mouth shut in episode 2.0,
Yes,
season 2, episode 8. Oh.
yeah, because Layla kept her mouth shut because she didn't want to out herself as the person who showed Taylor those messages.
Oh my God.
That's what it came down to in that situation.
Oh my God. Oh, it might be fun. I might watch it the rest of it this weekend.
And Taylor, I'm gonna tell a girl like you just got off of marriage, you got two small kids, hooked up with some dude you met in the DMs, had a baby, and now y'all having like occasional sex, but y'all need to break up because you're toxic. Get your life together.
But Taylor's mom is the reason why she is like that, though. Taylor's mom is messy and interferes way too
Yes.
much
Ooh.
on behalf of her daughter. And her daughter is
Oh.
not 6 anymore. Her daughter is like 36. Stop it.
Oh, well, you'll see later in the season where Jamie lets her have it, and people are like, oh my God." I'm like, and me and my friend were watching it. And we're like, well, had Taylor's mom and I popped up at Demi's event trying to talk to her about Taylor, Demi wouldn't have to go in on her. So I don't blame Demi about that. Don't come to me about your daughter.
Wait a minute. Quick question for you. Did Whitney ever buy the farm?
Not yet.
She ain't
Not that
never
I've
gonna
seen.
buy that farm. She ain't never gonna buy that farm. That girl does not want to do that. No.
No. She wants to sell
Mm-mm.
dildos and get paid 20 G's, and I'm with her on that one.
Well, there you go. But her mom said, that's not going to go well with the church. Mm-mm-mm. Anyway, we went off on a whole tangent. Thank you so much for putting up with us. Um, Jamal, wait, what is today? Today is Tuesday, so we
Hmm.
have to watch. the rest of we have to watch Tammy and
Right.
Polly. And
Yes.
Polly's done tonight. So
I
yay.
heard that.
Yeah. They're bringing on the 1,000 pound roommates next week, I guess.
Ooh, I'm intrigued by that one.
I don't know. I feel they're gonna just get on my ever loving nerves.
Probably.
Whitney is too busy trying to get back into mom talk.
Yes.
Oh, that's how you spell it? I thought it was
Yes.
Talk. Oh my God. I thought they were supposed to be discussing. I'm so confused. I'm not with the young people anymore.
Yeah. They're Mormon TikTokers who are moms, basically.
That's just so stupid. So stupid. Oh, Lord. I swear. Ryan must think that I'm a complete idiot because I did think I asked her if they're cheerleaders or something. And I could feel Ryan rolling her eyes at me in her responses. 1,000 pound sisters night. Yes, that's tonight. End of Polly. Yay. And mom TikTok. Thank you for spelling for like explaining it to me, Ryan. I appreciate you. I love you. You gonna get rewarded in the higher echelons of heaven for taking care of this old girl. You gonna take Cody's place. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. I know this was a wee bit longer than we intended, but you got bonus material on the slutty Mormon wives of Utah. I'll get the name right one of these days. Until next time, Jamal.
Of course.
All right, y'all. Bye.